Welcome to the Box Truck Hustle. I'm Telly Arnold, co-founder of TLA Group, business strategist, and one half of the trucking partnership that somehow manages to work week after week. My business partner, Sharif, brings the road experience. I bring the structure and the strategy, and together we build a company that keeps going 1 mile, one load, and one lesson at a time. But on this podcast, you're hearing it from my seat. The behind the scenes, the business decisions, and the real stories that make this hustle what it is. Let's get into it. So, Sharif, I see you're in the truck. How's it going
That
out
right.
there?
Oh, it's going. Same old different day. We couldn't get a which happens a lot in trucking. Sometimes if you deliver later in the day, it's hard to get reloaded, especially on a Friday. So, I've always told you, and I'll tell anybody that's running, any driver, if you're trying to get a head start on the check or the revenue for the next week, delivering early on Friday is very important because that's the first, I know for us, that's the first day of the next week of the new period.
Yes, definitely. And then you need to do your reset as well, too. So you like
Yes,
to
but
get
that
there early and already know where you're going on Monday.
gotcha. But but the reset can happen. Sometimes it happens when you don't want it to happen. You should stay ahead of that so you can plan it. But that's a good time to reset. You should be able to reset your time on weekends,
Right,
depending on the load. Depending on the load.
right. And this load
But
that we got picking up Monday, you're in Austin all weekend. So you made the decision to stay in Austin versus coming on back to Houston and
well, it's
running
just
back.
yeah, it's a gas thing. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Depends on where you are. If you're able to splurge that 200 to go ahead and go home, but it's all about if it's worth it or not. And
right.
I just left, so it's like, you know. And some truck drivers, that's a hard reset when you coming from home and you got your mind in the truck, and going back is a reset. So,
Yeah.
you
You
know,
gotta make
sometimes you
sure
don't
that
want
you
to do that.
get your mind right to go back out.
hmm
Yeah.
Remember how I used to leave? If I'm picking up something Friday morning and it's Thursday, sometimes I like to be in the truck Thursday, ready to roll instead of waking up Friday trying to get to the truck, trying to get to the truck, setting up your truck. You're ready the night before, so all you have to do is drive to the spot or be there the morning of. That way, most of your day is really drive, loading and driving.
Right. Right. Um, so you've been a truck driver for 20 years. Came
Oh
out of
no,
the well,
24 years. I
excuse
got
me,
my
please.
24 years. Don't take the
Yeah,
four away from me.
24
Don't take the
years.
four away.
You know what? You sure right. Because I like to say I've been in corporate America for 20 years. So don't take none of my years off. So you
Exactly.
correct me,
It
24
it was
years.
stressing all of those years.
So you 20 years and now you in the box truck.
hmm
How, and I like to say you CDL drivers, CDL class A drivers are bougie. Um, y'all very
Well, it's
structured. Y'all very structured.
hmm
Um, how did you go from that structure of having your apartment on wheels with you to now being in that box truck and not having that luxury?
it's just like life. Sometimes you lose a job and you have to give up that luxury apartment you used to live in. Now it's the time to downgrade. But sometimes you got to take a step back to take a big leap forward. So I didn't mind it. You look at the pros of it more than the cons. I can eat. I can eat where I want to eat now. That's a big change. Also, I'm able to plan my trips. I'm able to work out more. So those are the good things about it. Bad things, yes, the living arrangements, but you know, I try to keep a positive attitude on everything. So I always tell myself, if I was homeless, this box truck life would be heaven. You know what I'm
Right?
saying? You tell a homeless person how you living, they be like, man, shoot, you get to eat every day. You sleeping? AC? Okay, well, what you complaining for? So,
Right. So for most of, because our MC is officially 2 years this past October. and
Mm,
you came off the road for almost a year, right? Because
yeah,
we did
yeah,
lows, so you made the decision to go back out. You want to talk
yeah.
about that, like why we made that decision, like
Well, you sometimes when you're running a business, when you're making decisions and they're not the right decisions, you pay the price. And we hired a couple of employees that didn't work out. And when you hire employees, you're training, and a lot of the attention is taken away from revenue. I mean, building revenue. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you're new. When we hire somebody, I have to train them. That means I'm not concentrating on making money for the business. So when you train for 2 weeks and it don't come together, you wasted time. So I decided to hit the road and let's go ahead and take a step back in the business. Let me hit the road for a year, do it strong like I was doing before I started my own business, and let's get that consistent revenue coming in, and then we can grow back into hiring somebody and hopefully getting into the big trucks.
right, right. What was I laugh when we would hire somebody and you would tell them about me. Because I made a post about me being the corporate side and you being a truck driver and me working with you. What was
Hmm.
something that you would tell drivers about me when when we hired somebody, their engagement with me?
Uh, well, if anything I know about you is I try to let them know what you used to, which is how I do things. So
Exactly.
it's easy for me to train because I try to train them on how I do things because that's what you're used to. And the repercussions of not doing it the way I do it. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So, it's all about building trust, especially with a driver because we're trusting them with our equipment. We trusting them with my share of what I was my job, which was,
All right.
when I'm doing it, I'm more at rest when I'm doing it because I know it's in my hands. When somebody else is out here, it's hell.
Yeah, it
I
is.
had I
It
had to
is.
get used to that.
Yeah, it's a I don't have to worry about the load getting there on time. I don't have to worry
Hmm.
about none of that. I lose sleep. Like, did they wake up? Are they going
Hmm.
to get there on time? Are they going to make sure their tracking is on? Like
Thank you.
that one driver we hired who gave the shipper the receiver. They signed the rate sheet, and then we had to hear the broker calling us. Why would they do that? I'm like, oh my gosh, but that's what happens when you hire inexperienced people. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I never had to worry about.
Or just like I said, not to cut you off, but the inexperience plus you're inexperienced, but I have to convince you that you're inexperienced. That means you're not listening to me. You're gonna try it your way before you think about me. Now,
Exactly.
I'm not the one to throw my years in your face, but if I gotta explain, I shouldn't have to explain. I had to remember it was my truck.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because I know
And
how
we had
hard.
to remind them it's our business when they wanted to ask for access to the load board and why we not booking this load and they out there at the truck stop listening to those truck drivers. And I'm like, first of all, you looking at rates. Are you looking at rates of a box truck? Or are you looking at rates of a semi? Like, what are you looking at? And furthermore, we're not going to the West Coast, so don't even look at them rates over there. You know what I mean?
But also have respect also.
Yeah.
You in the industry that you haven't touched before. Now,
Right.
anybody, this is what I hate about today's world. Anybody can Google and I hear it all the time. Do your research, but just because you do your research, don't get, just because you reading something, don't mean doing it is totally different. Reading and doing is totally different. You can read in books of and hear testimony of drivers saying how great it is out here. Oh, I love the road. I love seeing the landscaping and being in a new state, meeting new people. Yeah, that's great too. But also, I'm gonna tell you, I always ask my driver, how are you feeling today? Are you mentally right? You know what I'm saying? You got into it with your girl. You feeling sad? You miss your kids? Because that add 10 times 10 out here because you to yourself.
Yeah.
So that can
That is
affect
very
your
true.
how you drive, and that can affect when you want to where you want to go. You want to come home. Most people want to come home to brand new drivers. So
Yeah,
you gotta have your self esteem up.
yeah,
You
that's
really
very
do.
true. Your mental stability. And I remember when we went to that job fair. Remember that job fair? And that was something that you
Hmm.
were telling all of those people, like you got to be mentally prepared to be out on that road and away from your family.
Yeah,
People say
and
it's
they was.
easy.
Mhm.
Easier said than done.
And you know what they say, and people got to understand, driving is different. You can finesse your way in the interview all day long. I finesse my way. I remember a warehouse job. I didn't know how to drive a forklift, but I knew how to drive. I knew once I sit down, I can finesse my way into convincing this man that I've been in here. But the road is totally different.
Yeah,
If you used to getting hugs and sugar every night, that ain't hey.
yeah.
Make sure
Sleeping
you
in
can
a
live
nice
without it for a
bed,
while. Yeah,
right?
make sure you can live without it for a while.
Yeah,
So that's why I said you got to have your mental together or your home support. If you and your girl tripping and you can't trust her at home, I wouldn't advise you to hit the road. I wouldn't advise. Trucking might not be for you, and leave her first. But
especially if you got somebody you can't trust. I mean,
yeah, man,
that's
hey,
gonna
this is
mess
the
with your
worst
mental.
job.
Yeah,
Yeah, this is the worst job. You got to have some what I call player in you. You got a little money more than your girl or your husband.
or like that guy you told me that was working for Dre when he wanted to come home every weekend,
Yeah,
right? Well, yeah,
he wanted to come home every weekend, and you can, but you're not gonna make any money. Every week
right,
is gonna be a short. What I tell you, I stay out 4 weeks, and this is the low standard.
right,
I have increased that now, but in the beginning when I was working for someone else, I stayed out 4 weeks for two reasons. Why? Because I wanted three full checks, three full. And every time you're trying to come home, that's a short check. It's always a short check leaving out because you may leave out on a Monday, especially coming in because it's unpredictable how you're gonna come home. I'm trying to get you home, so I'm letting a lot of money go trying to get you home. You
right.
know what I'm saying? So if you're trying to be home every weekend, that's a short check every weekend. I
Yeah,
needed three full checks, guaranteed full checks coming in you
right.
know. So I try to tell every driver, man, be prepared. If you trying to make it make sense, you want to be out at least a month, and you come home. And the second reason is I didn't want to discuss with my boss why I wanted to come home. I, I've been out 4 weeks. Give me a week home.
Exactly.
I'm not trying to negotiate with my home time. That can be frustrating. You know what I
Yeah,
mean? You trying to get home, you're missing your kids, and you explaining to somebody why you want to be home. And when you
yeah,
home every weekend, it's not a full 2 days. You would think you will be there Friday. That way you can have a full Saturday and Sunday. 9 times out of 10, you coming in Saturday morning,
hmm,
parking the truck, getting home. You might not get home to 12. And guarantee you a company, that dispatcher calling you Sunday, telling you what you finna do.
exactly,
So you're not really off.
exactly.
So and now I want to be able to get in my truck and have some lazy time. You know what I
Yes,
mean? Wake up. If I want to scratch my head, let me do it. You
yeah.
know what I mean?
Because when you were coming, I mean, since we have more control over, over it,
Hmm.
you come in on Friday and you may deliver the load that Monday morning and then come right back home. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, um, I think when I talk to people who talk to me about starting their business and they like, I want to stay regional, I want to stay local. I don't think people understand how hard that is. The money
Yeah.
that you make staying local and regional is not the same as going OTR. Now, if you got those relationships already in advance when your authority becomes new, then you're blessed. Because a lot of people bank on doing Amazon, and you got to wait 180 days before you get on Amazon.
Mm.
And Amazon loads, from what we're seeing, is especially in Houston. Now, we see them a little bit better on the road, right? I mean, most of the
Well,
time. Now,
now,
yeah,
because because
Yeah.
we especially with TQL, we they damn near know us by name.
Yeah,
Oh,
TQL is not a name a lot of people like to talk about, but people will not admit that TQL keeps money coming in for them. A
yeah,
lot of
you know,
people
and
talk trash about TQL, but look, what you gonna
what you
do
gonna
when that's
thank
what you
you.
gonna do? What you gonna do if
What you
there's
gonna do?
nothing there and you're sitting in Chicago and the load makes sense? I think people need to quit listening to what other people say about brokers and worry about their pockets, their bills, what is their business strategy instead of
Thank you. Their relationship with
TQL.
that.
They got crappy loads. What I see right now, a lot of brokers besides
Well,
TQL have those type of loads. I don't mind TQL.
but also name a broker that's giving great loads. Hush your mouth.
Because my
Hush.
spreadsheet, according to my spreadsheet that you tell me I can't go by, according to my spreadsheet, every load that I punch in, it is not even close to what we should be getting.
Exactly. And see,
So
I told you,
I go ahead.
no, no, sir. I told you, I didn't say it was no good. I just said you only your spreadsheet need to be looked at as a negotiating table, what to come in to say, hey, I know you trying to give it to me for this, but let's try this. Like if it's 18 and they saying 15, now I can say, give me 17. I can come back, give
Yeah,
me 17.
right.
But but the way that the industry is, you can say 18 all you want, they gonna laugh at you. They're not gonna give you that. And I know that's what you're supposed to give me. So that's the only thing I was saying. It might have came my bad, but I was saying like, don't go in there demanding that 18 because I ain't got 18 in 3 years. You know what I'm saying?
No,
So at least
I
we able
understood
to
that.
negotiate. Yeah.
No, I understood that. It's just for me because my lack of knowledge,
Uh-huh.
it gave me something to work with. Because when I would see those loads out there and they were blank, I would be like, okay, I see 700 miles. I see it's 7,000 pounds. If you're not available and you say go ahead, I'm like, okay, well, so it gives me a ballpark. So
Exactly.
I put what we need, our cents per mile, based on our business structure. But then I go back to what I know is the industry, and I do like
Exactly.
an average of it. So I kind of take the middle ground and I'll go to them. And generally, I'm like in the ballpark, and
Gotcha.
so the spreadsheet helps me. You know, I love my spreadsheets, so the spreadsheets
Now,
help me
now it
to.
helped me too because I was honestly just going off my experience and what I used to get compared to on what's been going on now. And then I roll a dice on my first offer. So that really kept me from doing that now because it's not,
Yeah,
I wasn't that experienced when it came down to what it should be. You know what I'm saying? And everybody got their own level of expertise in that area.
right.
Because that's a little bit of greed plus what you gonna get. You know what I mean? You got to balance that out.
Yeah, because
But
how I got the spreadsheet now, I have it to where if it goes below a certain dollar amount and it turns red, that means we're not getting that load. Period.
gotcha.
So it's factoring in gas and it's factoring in your pay. And if we go below that number, that means we're not gonna that load. We're not making
It
enough
don't
money.
make sense.
It
It don't
doesn't
make
make
sense.
sense. And the only
Exactly.
thing I didn't factor in is dispatch because we're dispatch. So
Thank God.
um,
Thank God. You remember how nervous we used to get before when we was gonna do it ourselves? I know me. I ain't. Let me speak for me. I know me. I had to. I was short on some undergarments. How nervous I was. Yes, indeed.
yeah, when we had that dispatcher, uh and she logged off at 5 o'clock and I'm off work, I started looking for loads and I'm like, oh, I found this load and I'm factoring because if you're off at 5 o'clock and I'm ready to factor, I'm not waiting till the morning. I want that factoring in there is immediately because I want our money immediately.
And you
So
know what? You know what? Also, that was a. That's why I teach Nigel that was a teaching moment. You know, you might think you want to do something the way you want to do it, but if I was that dispatcher, I would have saw once you booked that first load without me, I was like, oh, okay. You don't want nobody. You don't want to show signs of, oh, they don't need me. You get what I'm trying to
Exactly.
say? And they wasn't kings on that. They wasn't
Mm-mm.
key, they wasn't sensing that.
She wasn't sensing that at all. Because the first time I found that load and you were like, good job, I was like, oh, I could do this. And then when
Oh
I was
yeah.
like, can you sign the rate sheet? Oh, well, I'm offline. I'm like, okay, let me figure out how to find the rate sheet, sign the rate sheet. And when I figured out how to do everything from my phone, I was like, yeah, she's not getting no percentage. If anybody getting paid, it's gonna be us, not
Hmm.
not the dispatcher. And it was kind of nerve wracking because they had to get access to all of our sensitive data. Like these are things you might not you've never done it yet, but it's like
No, no, no. I understand
there, there's
the
this
the
thing called
numbers.
highway that I had to do the broker carrier packet, and that's all of our sensitive information. And so
Hmm.
I would have to give them access to that. And it was
Gotcha.
nerve wracking because they'd be like, hey, send me the code. And I'd be like, okay, let me send you the code. I could be in a meeting. Like, I'm like, I need this to work like solo. So
Yeah.
to me, and I tell anybody, like, I think dispatchers are good when you have multiple trucks. When you have a one truck show, when you're just a one truck business, you know what I mean? It's like that's more money out of our pocket. You have
Yeah.
one truck. Why do you do it yourself and build those relationships? You're one truck. Let those brokers know who you are.
Exactly. And and you putting in the beginning, you need to do it so you be hands on and build those relationships. Because that's the importance of a dispatcher. That's why when we start, when I start my dispatching thing, and I've been thinking about some names also. I was thinking of one was Lighthouse Dispatching.
Lighthouse.
Think
Okay.
about what a lighthouse is. That's this,
Um,
where guide the way when
yeah.
things are in trouble. And dispatch is supposed to be like a lighthouse to a troubled ship. And
Yeah.
if you don't have guidance, you come to lighthouse dispatching where we can guide you to prosperity.
Because
I'm a,
you've
I'm a,
witnessed
I'm
it
gonna do the
all.
fist like a politician.
Because honestly, when we went through that whole thing with the guy who was Lee Stone,
Yeah,
and I had to figure everything out, where was our dispatcher? So that's an
exactly,
example of all my hair literally for 2 days trying to figure out that load and where was the dispatcher? Like literally,
exactly.
I'm having
And
to
also,
get. Mhm.
and also, I feel like I can be a great dispatcher because I know I'm not gonna forget how it feels to be behind the wheel. And a dispatcher is like a mother.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying? You notice I joke with you all the time how I watch the cop videos and you see the young women getting ready to go to jail and the first thing they say when they get the handcuff, I'm gonna call my mama. I'm gonna call my mom. Like mamas can solve everything. You know what I'm saying? Just call your mama. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I got a felony. Let me call my mama. She gonna get me out of it. You know what I'm saying? And that's how
Yeah.
I want them to feel about me. Oh man, let me call Shy. Shy gonna find I can find a mechanic for you wherever you are. I'll find tire change. Come to
You are a
Lighthouse
problem solver. That
Solver.
is
Thank
what
you.
a
That's what we do here.
dispatcher problem solve.
Thank you. That's what we do here at Lighthouse Dispatch. You're supposed to say the name too many times. I learned that on the streets, not in the marketing class. I always say the name of the company, TLA Group, Lighthouse Dispatch. Just say it.
Lighthouse Dispatching. I'm
Mm-hmm.
Sheree
Mm-hmm.
Brooks,
That
owner
way people
of owner of Lighthouse Dispatching.
exactly.
Where if
Exactly.
you got
So
a problem, I'm gonna solve it.
exactly. We're gonna lead you the way, baby.
I'm gonna lead you
See,
the way. If you got a load,
exactly.
if you need a load, I'm gonna find it.
And I was thinking about the logo. It can be a lighthouse, and they can have a highway going around the lighthouse. You know what I mean?
Maybe going up.
Yeah, yeah, but like it's going around it like that, and like the lighthouse. With the spotlight going around. So we working on it. We working on it.
Okay, Lighthouse Dispatch. Okay, I
That
like
way,
it.
hey, my name don't have to be on it. You know. And you know
Got
me,
you.
how I had to put it in the kids' mama's faces, And you working for somebody, Lighthouse Dispatching. I'm like, yeah, but read the fine print, damn it. Okay, I'm sorry, it's not that podcast. My fault, my fault, my fault.
No, you're
Yeah,
this one
yeah,
I can't
that's the
kick you
next
off
one.
of. Like, you get kicked off, you be on live
Yeah, yeah,
sometime.
that's the next podcast. Relationships and how to survive. How to
A
survive.
relationship is how to survive on the road. Yeah.
Thank you. Ooh,
Watch my
that's
husband
a whole
after
nother
dark.
one. Yeah. That low morale can hurt revenue.
That is true.
Yeah, so
Because
it can
dealing
come
with
together.
dealing with these drivers that we have, going out there ready to come home, needing advances, don't have money, and I'm just
And, sh
like,
and that should be the next one. The social side of trucking.
yeah,
We get a bad rep,
yeah,
but also, on the business side of it, how if you're hiring a driver that's a player, and we all seen them, just make sure he's able to handle his business. Don't get me wrong. When I was over the road, I would love to rendezvous and see, but I made sure it was all according to the load god. The load god said where I was going and who I was trying to see. If I got a load, it popped up. Oh, Chicago. Okay. Oh, Milwaukee. I know her. Okay, let me go see her.
also it's on that song. I got in
Well,
different area
well.
codes.
Well, the gentleman I am,
I know the gentleman that you
you
are.
know
You would never.
the queens in different area codes. I would never.
And the
I would,
women,
and
hey,
everybody that knows me
the women
knows
out
me.
there, the women out there being player about it too. There's a lot
You
more
ain't
women out
lying.
there in these trucks.
Damn, now, and see that's another episode. How it's more women truckers, and they're not even looking like they used to look, and how it's affecting the industry. Yeah, y'all building morale, but loads getting delivered on time. It seems
You
like it's
wearing them
helping
nice
social
leggings
media.
that like that them nice leggings, and y'all walking around there strolling around that truck stop, and these men ain't seen no women, and next thing
Mm.
they know,
But it does balance out the morale out there because you don't need to overly charge male truck driver either. So yeah, so I guess it's balanced everything out. Because I ain't gonna lie, when you're out there, you've been out there a while, and all of a sudden somebody jump out, and you like, oh, what a day! It makes the day better. You skip
look
to
at
your
God's
truck.
blessings. Look at
Yeah,
God's
look
blessings.
at that. Go on. Okay, I guess I can drive this extra 3 hours. Look at her. Oh, and
Well,
it sounds
we got a few more minutes to wrap it
okay.
up. Would you like to give people a tour of your penthouse?
Ooh. On the next episode, we will. But listen, this is what I recommend for box truck drivers.
Hmm.
Okay. Next time I'm a show, but I just come from the gym and I just threw my bag in there because I was late for the podcast. That's a good excuse. I was late for the podcast, so I couldn't get things together. So anyway, the next one I will show. But
Okay.
right now it's December cold. Get you a weighted blanket, because I'm telling you, it keeps you warm. You're able to cut the truck off. Now, don't get me wrong, the mornings are very eventful because it's super cold. And as soon as you pull that thing out, Lord help us. But it keeps you warm, that weighted blanket. So I would advise that get you one of those. Keep you some long johns. Learn how to sleep in long pants if you can, and tell them about what that gift you gave me years ago that helped me on those cold days running inside. When you had to use a
Oh,
restroom at 5 in the morning.
well, I got very much educated on that because I honestly was green and didn't understand until Tawana was like, Telly, what does Sharif do when, he has an emergency and he's not around anything? And I was like, and you showed me your portable trash can. And I just felt like I needed to buy you a contraption
And
that would
let's let
not
them know
fit
what
your
portable trash can was. It was an office trash can that I kept in the middle, that I that I that really the Walmart bags fit the top perfectly. So during those emergencies, I got my squat on and I delivered. And I hope everybody understands. I would deliver, and it helped with the quads, it helped with the legs and everything. So you exercising and relieving at the same time. But she
But
made
I
me more
upgraded you.
professional.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
she made me
upgraded
more
you.
professional.
That's the corporate side of me. I upgraded you to a very nice portable one that could collapse down
Fold
and you
that.
could store it away, and or you can just keep it open, with your bag.
It was so
That's why
fancy.
Bucky's do not want y'all at their stores. That's why Bucky's don't want truck drivers there.
Well, certain things come with a truck stop. When I hear, I want to say this before we leave. Truck
Uh
drivers, stop complaining when it's a pissy pavement, when it's a pissy truck stop. Come on, we men.
huh.
Only women that gotta use the restroom bad, super bad, and you stop and you run to the restroom holding and you run it. Only women do that. Men, all men do it. Now, that's why I gotta say this because the men that I've heard online, tell me, I can't believe he peeing outside his truck when the inside right there. Maybe he was an emergency. He ain't gonna make it.
Oh my goodness!
It's been times. Hey. It's been times I was at the pump. They got me on camera saying, "Woo!" You understand? And I'm saying it with pride because I'd rather you see me doing that than you see me walking in with a nice little wet spot and I can hear the commentary then. Look at this grown man
And this is
and peed
why
in there, and he didn't peed in
everybody.
his truck. Look, no. Nah, just know. If you see a truck stop, you gonna open the door. Prepare to. It's gonna smell like Bourbon Street. Okay, that's what it's gonna smell like.
Oh, I'm done with you.
All right, woman.
All
These
right,
are the
so thanks.
realities.
This is the real. I mean, this is what people.
That's
If
what you're gonna get on this
anybody,
podcast.
that's
We
what you're
gonna
gonna
keep it a
get.
buck.
A book. Yes,
We
yes,
gonna put the B in buck.
yes,
Okay.
yes. I need to figure out a way that I don't look as close because I mean I don't like all of this right here showing. I don't
Well,
like that.
that's another podcast. Uh,
Luckily, most of them are you're only hearing unless they go on YouTube and they can see the video. Anyway,
okay, guys.
so thanks for listening to the Box Truck Hustle. I'm Telly and one half and my business partner Sharif. Remember the hustle doesn't stop. It just changes lane. See you on the next episode.
Yes, indeed.
Thank you.
Thank you, mama.
All right. I gotta close it out. There we go.